If you are triggered by any topic discussed in this, I would exit the video now. I don't want to trigger anything, but this video will be talking about sexual assault and my story on that. Yo, what is up guys? It is Mason Soares, and welcome to another YouTube video. So today I'm going to be doing this very serious video, and I did upload a video yesterday. It was up for 2 hours. The person who I recorded the video with requested that I take it down, so I'm going to be just having my part in this one. And this is all for awareness, and I just hope that you can learn something from this. And if you have been sexually assaulted before in the past, please speak up against the person who did it. I was sexually assaulted 3 weeks ago from tomorrow. And I guess I'll tell you my story and what happened. So I'll start in the beginning of the day. I woke up, I got a text from a friend, my best friend, and he asked me if I could bring him a charger to his house, because he needed one. And since he's my best friend, I was like, sure, whatever. That was around 8 o'clock. So I got up out of my bed, and I went, because I was sick, I went to go and take some cough medicine. So I did that. I took 2 times the dosage that someone would normally do, because I heard that it would take away my cough pretty much all the way, and it did. But there was some side effects to it, which I'll explain later on. So I got ready. It was about 10 o'clock when I left my house, 10:30. I walked an hour and a half to his house, and about 5 minutes on the way to his house, I started to feel uncoordinated. I started to get dizzy. I originally thought it was because of the cold. I thought it was because it was pretty chilly out, and I thought that was the reason why I was uncoordinated and dizzy. But I walked the rest of 5 minutes to his house. I gave him his charger. We hung out for about an hour. He had to go around 12 o'clock. He had to go around 1 o'clock. And he had to go to his dad's house. So I texted someone who was my brother's ex, and I texted him saying that I needed a ride home because I felt uncoordinated. I was dizzy. I could barely walk at that time because the effect of that medicine were so significant. And I thought if I walked home, I would probably pass out while walking home, or accidentally walk into a moving vehicle, because that's how uncoordinated I was. So I texted him, and he said yes, he'll pick me up. So I waited at my friend's road stop sign, and I waited for him. It took about 10 minutes for him to get to the stop sign, and I pretty much tripped into his car because I was uncoordinated. But I got into his front seat, and he drove away. He stopped at McDonald's first, got a hot chocolate. Then he stopped at the gas station and got some gas. He asked if if I wanted to just drive around with him for a little bit. And I said sure, because I didn't have to be home till 2, and it wasn't 2 yet. It was about 1:30, I would say. And then we kept driving, and he drove to the top of the parking garage. I thought he just wanted to talk I just thought he wanted to talk. So we got up to the top of the parking garage, he parked, and we talked for about 2 to 3 minutes. And he tried to kiss me. I kept backing away every time he was trying to kiss me. I kept moving my head. I didn't want to do it. I was exhausted. I could barely talk. I could barely walk. And so I didn't want to do anything with him. I After a while, he stopped kissing me. He asked, after we talked for about another minute or 2, he asked if I wanted to cuddle in the backseat of his car. I kind of liked this guy at the time. I was like, whatever, okay, sure, I love cuddling. And he said, quote unquote, "Can I hold you in the backseat of my car?" And, well, so I got into the backseat of his car. I was holding on to his car to get in it because I was still dizzy. I just don't know. It was because of the medicine, I figure now. But because I took twice the dosage. But I just don't understand how someone could do that to another person. So I got in the back seat of his car, and we laid down in the back seat. We talked for about another minute or 2, and then he started to touch my pants to try and get me hard. It worked. And after he got me hard, he put his hand in my pants. I froze by this time. I froze. All I really could say was, eh. That's all I could say, all I could do. I couldn't move. It was very uncomfortable. I just didn't know what to do. My anxiety flared up. And I just froze. I don't know why I froze, I just did. And I was just thinking through my mind, stop. I didn't say yes before, but I didn't say no. But what I had to realize was saying nothing doesn't mean you said yes. Silence does not mean yes. Silence means no. So after I pretty much froze, he had his hand in my pants, he took my pants off. He started to do oral sex on my penis. And I was still frozen. I still didn't know what to do, what to say. I couldn't say anything, even if I wanted to. Even if I could, I couldn't. I froze, and after about 2 minutes of him doing oral sex, he started to still do oral sex while fingering me. And it was so uncomfortable at the time. I just didn't know what to do. We stopped after a few minutes because I had to go home around 2 o'clock, and he saw the time and he knew that. It took him 3 times to tell me to get up for me to process that he was telling me to get up because I was frozen. Then after I got up, he drove me to the stop sign of my street, and I pretty much limped home holding my arms up like this because I was still very uncoordinated. I could still barely walk. And it took me a few minutes after to realize what had happened. Because I was so frozen there, I didn't know what to do. I texted a few friends, asking them what to do. They all told me to report it. So I reported it. I reported it the next day at school. My best friend, who told me that if I didn't report it, he would. So right after that, I went to the police officer at the school and reported it. So far, there is not enough evidence for him to be charged, but I am still working with the investigator, and I'm hoping that something happens from this, because this has emotionally taken me apart. I've broken down the past 2 weeks at school every day. I was having panic attacks more often than I should have had them. And it's been emotionally tiring on me, and I thought that maybe this video might help me heal, as long with helping someone out there speak out. Because you are not alone. If you have been sexually assaulted before, please speak out. Do it for me. I guess I'm gonna go. That was my story, and I hope you learned something from this. Goodbye.